Hey everyone, welcome to day 4 of the Days of Joy. The town train whistle just went off here in Cripple Creek, Colorado. Woo, woo. Start to move out of the mind and into the heart if you haven't already. I can actually feel the field. It feels like many of you have. Hi Liz, nice to see you here. Hey Gretchen from Kentucky, nice to see you here. Okay, so I did ask for some reflections on what you're experiencing because I went through a major shift yesterday. And I will give you more context in that when I look back over the course of the last week, I can see how my greater self was queuing me up for this shift, and how it's all interrelated. And again, when the screen freezes, I will stop talking. When I get reconnected, I'll just speak again. So we'll just roll with the technology glitches today. I'm just going to read the chat. We'll come back here. I just want to kind of see what you all are experiencing. Liz, yeah, the victim judging. I put out that short this morning. Yeah, big blind spot for me. But of course, when what we judge is what we're still working on. So it was very revealing to see. And when I tell the story, you'll see how it all kind of ties together. Gretchen, some recalibration to your solar plexus, some pretty intense emotions come up that you had thought you put to rest. Yeah, one next level. It's a refinement process, right? Kind of like you think of a glass of, let's just say muddy water, and it takes a lot of displacement for that to run clear, So that's basically what we're doing, again, but not out of judgment because muddy water is bad. That's a valid experience in the all that is contrast. Yeah, I got to slim down into the mud, right? Okay, thanks for saying hi, everyone. It's wonderful to see you all here. Love the unicorn, Collins. All right. And I'm just looking for more shares on what you all are experiencing so I can tie that in to what I'm about to share with you. Okay, thanks, Josie. You're still in a lot of integration, but feeling more congruent. Yeah. And hopeful. Hope is a good thing. I've been playing out exploring that polarity quite a bit, despair and hope, right? Some of it has to do with much bigger exopolitics and my field work and different experiences that weren't able to move forward in ways. So I've been clearing a lot of that in this lifetime because we actually are able to move forward in a lot of restoration now. Oh, yeah, love it. Somebody's asking if there's anyone from Buffalo who wants to hang out spiritually. You guys can exchange info. All right, so yeah, nice to see you all. Colin, you felt a massive liberating experience from yesterday's. Yeah, this is what I was looking for, to see if others, I know at least of one other comment on the replay where someone experienced something similar to what I did. So yeah, all right. Beautiful. So much greater equilibrium, Sarah Renee, thank you. Hi, Patty from Bend. Nice to see you here. Yeah, beautiful. Okay. Okay, keep sharing. I will come back to the chat in a minute. I want to preface what we're doing here with, again, we're working with, if you really look at what underpins, what sets up like the program for this beautiful organic living simulation that we're in, that this creation of infinite mind and then all the creations of infinite mind that have begun creating. And I have just naturally allowed this to come through. It's not coming from my local data bank, that we're working with beautiful geometries as templates, okay, as sets of instructions. So that's the level that we're working at with here. And yesterday, when we did the work with our parents and ancestors and put ourselves together in a new configuration, a new template, right? And we cleared the victim. I mean, we really cleared it. Not because it was like something that just wants to keep coming back, but because it was like a fundamental distortion in the holographic templates that we inherited when we took on this form. And our souls, oversouls, monads, multidimensional selves are so incredibly, brilliant that they can override a lot of this kind of coding at the base code geometric level. And so when we did that, what happened is I went downstairs after the transmission thinking I was just going to be visiting with my daughter and Jonathan. And all of a sudden, like, it was like I had such an aha moment and could see. Okay, so funny. I was just about to start the story and then it froze. Oh my gosh, it's awesome. So I had a major victim story about I'm too ahead of my time. This is too much for people. They won't understand it, et cetera, et cetera. And so even though I've had a YouTube channel for years and I've been doing this for years, I've still been holding back. And I saw it so, so clearly. And so within that, like almost like stream of consciousness where I realized, oh my gosh, I need to do this, this, and this, like going forward. It was just fascinating in that moment to feel how crystal clear my clarity was. Not like a thought, oh yeah, I should, go on more podcasts and be out in the world more, but still my structure being like bracing, protecting. No, all of it was gone. It was just gone. And that is for, years now, what I've seen is when you make a kaleidoscope shift in your template, you make a kaleidoscope shift. The kaleidoscope is fundamentally different. The picture, the geometry is different. So there's no progression needed. It's interesting. And sure enough, I got tested today because I got a comment that expressed someone's fear around some of the language I was using around holographic reality. And I didn't have the normal charge around, oh no, people are afraid of me. It was a distant little something, and I could see clearly his fear in a way I couldn't because in the past I was running everything through my fear. So if you've had some of these experiences, or if you are just coming to day 4 and you didn't do day 3, I highly recommend day 3 because it's going to help you clear so much that is getting in your way that that doesn't even seem like enough of a statement. It's like just obscuring your vision, obscuring your clarity, right? So here, and then I will say full context. A week ago, a few days ago, time's getting weird. I wrapped with my last Illuminate call for that cohort, and I self-revealed my own blind spot of judging the victim, right? So there's my projection. Why would I be judging the victim mentality and mindset so harshly? It's because it's still in me, and it's something I fear. I don't want it. So somebody asked a question about how do I, Clayton, don't judge the sadness that you're experiencing. Just don't judge it as being wrong or bad or a problem, right? So you're not sure if it's victimhood because you've been trying for years. Just stop trying and yeah, there you go. Your whole solar plexus is clearing. So just don't even try. Just love it. Love the sadness. Yeah. So there's a lot on this. So everyone tune into this message. All of the difficult emotions that we're experiencing are data points, and our body and our emotional body are trying to communicate those to us so that we don't just keep ignoring them as like an inconvenience or I don't want to feel that and push it away. And it's not just ours. It's what we inherited from our family lines as well. There is a tremendous amount of grief and sadness that has not been alchemized, healed on this planet. So it just passes from one generation to the next. Okay. Yeah, this feels better. So all that. So yeah, just lots of clearing from the solar plexus. So let them be. In full spiral sort of fashion with the victim story to finish it off here for you all. We ended up at the Wolf Rescue Center Sanctuary here in Colorado. And normally I would be judging the level of victim that the people who run the place are in around the treatment of wolves. We have to be very careful here because if we get into too much rescuing, we actually call in players to play a role for us so that we can rescue and get validation and value and sense of self-worth from that. So I deconstructed rescuer a few years ago and realized, okay, but then I got stuck staying in judging the victim. And if you really look at the shadow of my own shadow, And many of us who get into this kind of interesting play of rescuer, we're resentful of having to play the rescuer, but we're the ones who signed up for that in the first place. So we're projecting all of this out. We're actually upset with ourselves. Oh, I'm always the one people come to for help. Oh, I always have to clean this up. No, we don't. But loving witness, no judgment of ourselves, just an aha of like, oh my gosh, I can't believe what I've been doing. There was a police officer who used to join our meditations. It was like Friday Facebook Lives I used to run. And we were in this whole conversation around what are we calling in that needs help? And if we don't have a kind of a character role of being the helper, then other people don't necessarily need to play that role. Other animals don't need to play that role for us. So this gets into some nuanced kind of next level territory, but I know that that's what anybody who's here, you are really interested in looking at the shadow of the shadow of the shadow, right? 3 curtains back. Because otherwise we're out a few degrees of projection. We don't know why we're repeating the same pattern over and over and over again, right? So we're looking at all that awesome shadow gold. Okay, so I wanted to tell you that story because it's a major, major shift for me. There's no going back. Like it's just done. It's just done. And the other big thing I had was, it was a very sobering moment where I realized I can't believe I've been sitting on this technology. It could help so many people. And I just saw it with so much clarity. So before we move on to today, whatever we're going to end up doing today, I would love your suggestions as to where I should show up. Podcasts large and small. They could have 10 followers or 10 million. I don't care. It's not, my mandate is just to get out and bring these out, this presence, these activations and invitations to coach would be lovely. You can always email them in to info@multidimensional or leave a comment. If you're watching the replay, leave a comment. I will also ask again, even if you're here live, to go back and leave a comment about your experience here today so that more people can find this. Yeah. All right. So that feels really good. Woo. Thanks, Vicki. It is fabulous. I'm like, ooh, it feels I feel very unburdened. So that's awesome. And for all of you healers, we always will be the first recipient of what we're bringing through, especially after we deconstruct rescue. And then the attachment, like all of this is a story. To take it really lightly. And whether humanity takes advantage of the technology or not, that's not my business, right? It's more just joyfully bring it out. And if we want to partake in that here, great. But yeah, so good. Okay, so I'm feeling the order of things. So we're going to go into the meditation experience or whatever wants to come through. And then I will circle back. I'm just putting down my tea there. We'll circle back to the chat. Some dialogue. All right, here we go. So, all right, as always, my malachite wanted to play today instead of my rose quartz. Okay, so 2 hands over the heart center. And gently press to release oxytocin. Also take a moment to bring yourself fully back in your body. Many of us pop out and aren't in our bodies. That's okay. It's a valid strategy, but it's not the one that's going to really alchemize the form and bring the human form and its wonderful divine design with us as we go, so to speak, right? And I do recommend you close your eyes so that you can focus inward. I'll keep my eyes open, so I keep an eye on the tech. And drop out of the mind into the heart. As you take long, slow, gentle breaths in and out of the nose, closed mouth. So you hear the wind in the cave at the back of the throat and the nose. And as you breathe in, let the belly gently expand, fill with air. And as you release, let the belly gently contract. Getting into that rhythm like you're the swell of the ocean. So that the breath is breathing you. And let the body rest now. Allow the body to come back into its own remembering that it is held by the vast expanse of a much greater field of love that you are. All the exiled, abandoned, self-exiled, self-abandoned parts are coming home now, playfully floating on the top of each ocean swell, laughing in delight. So much is clearing again from the root, the base of the spine. There we go. And the throat is opening at new levels. We're reclaiming play today. A playful spirit, a joyful, playful, creative spirit. And we're dislodging from the solar plexus a lot of old judgment and shame about right and wrong, good and bad. There's only experience. And yet many of us in school are taught good idea, bad idea. Psh, as if there's only equanimity. There we go. Ooh, something's really clearing for a lot of you now. Make me burp. That doesn't usually happen. So that's a big one that came through the mid-back, up through the throat and clearing out. Ooh, that keeps going. There are no bad ideas or bad experiences or bad people. That is a distortion. Whew. Okay, so we're unlocking and unleashing more of our own playful creativity. Yeah, lots coming up off the shoulders. Adults modeled for us what it was to create, so they created unconsciously and very seriously. Very serious. It's also serious. Gonna blow that all up. Blow it out of the field. There we go. The heart chakra is clearing out at new levels. I'll quote Bono from U2, the right to be, reclaiming the right to be ridiculous. There we go. Whew. Some of the last barriers and vestiges to being your authentic self that you come up against. A capital case of unconscious seriousness. Yeah, there we go. Even more is clearing out from the throat, the high heart. Even the eyes are clearing so that they can see more clearly. Oh, it feels so good, y'all. Feels so good. Oh, man. There's like my team this morning before we got on said, ride the wave of the momentum you're creating. And I can feel it. We're all beginning to really ride this wave beautifully. All those self-abandoned, self-exiled parts, let's let them come on the swell and come home. There we go. Reintegrating. They can still experience the reality and creation in a slightly individuated way, but without ever feeling completely untethered from home base. Almost like little kids. They'll go out to play, but then they come home. There's safety in home, safety within your home structure. Yeah, there's a lot of readjustment happening right down the midline now. Oh, interesting. I just got shown an embryo and how it forms and the spine. And so we're working with all of the information in the vertebrae. There we go. Oof, a lot of those are clearing and readjusting. It's moving fast. Continue to take deep breaths. Some of these are taking a minute to readjust. Focus on relaxing your body as much as you can to allow this adjustment to take place, to reconfigure yourself. It's like we're rebuilding from the ground up, from the foundation. There we go. Joyful playfulness right there in the root, in the foundation, and then right up through the spine. There's a lot going on in the physical form, especially through the vertebrae, spinal column, and the brain today. And now we're creating a feedback loop. So we have a lot of biofeedback, right? So if like a looping thought will continue to create the same kind of cascading chemicals, and then those chemicals make you feel that way, and you can't get out of these back eddies, we're creating the inversion of that, okay, a positive feedback loop built into the very foundation and the structure itself. Yep. I just felt the need to adjust my spine, and I just unsubluxated myself. Now we're being invited here to the high heart and throat center and bring so much love here. I'm going to put a love filter in today. So we have other filters, disempowering things coming through. We're going to put, there we go. It's going right in. This is fascinating. It's almost like no matter what is spoken, it will be neutralized by love of our greater selves. I'm being shown, and I can kind of feel it as an experience already of saying something that's disempowering and instantly hearing how ridiculous it is and how not true it is. It's almost like catching all the distortion the way a sieve would catch sediment, you know. Letting the finer particles through and capturing all that coarse, dense stuff that we just don't need to speak into our reality. Speak as our reality. Oh, that feels really good. And it feels quiet and steady and stable. Interesting. I'm seeing horses for some reason. White horses. Yeah, this is all buzzy here. Beautiful. Okay. All right. Well, I'm being told that we're complete with the transmission work. As usual, I don't really feel the need to talk very much, but I'm here for it. Yeah. All right. I'm going to go back up in the chat and see what was shared here. Okay. Yeah, so some of you are reflecting on the experiencing. Sarah Grace, you are feeling very stable, though managing a fairly chaotic and the illness, right, that you've all been moving through. Laughing about the conversation that what we're actually doing here is purging density. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, we could think of alchemizing it, repurposing it into higher creation, playful creation, loving creation. So much life. Okay. Yeah, I have been through a lot of initiations of fear, terror, all of it, having to face all of that. I'm definitely not minimizing the experience of it, but we can lighten it up by just remembering that it's kind of all of story, and so much of the collective culture has been focused on fear. So what we're doing is the opposite, right? Loving my landscape. Hello from Albania via New Jersey. I love that. Old stuff coming up for healing and letting go. Perfect. Yeah. And again, you can come back to these in a few months and do a whole nother layer. Okay. We don't do too much all at once, or our bodies would have a hard time. Josie, you feel like something's rolls to loop. I'm getting the weirdest YouTube message again. This one's different. YouTube video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience something, but whatever. What's going on with YouTube, but we'll keep a light touch here and a sense of humor about it. See how our perspective rolls to loop. Yeah. So as we shift, we can change our character if we want. No judgment if you want to stay in the same character. But what I found in my client work is that when we stay in character, we tend to keep Marlene, for you, grief, sadness, fear of being seen, fear of betrayal, being crucified, right? The persecution wound, all of that's releasing very quickly. Beautiful. In a stream of source songs that your heart's been singing. Yeah, I spontaneously go into a lot of light language. I'm kind of working with my own structure all the time, making little micro attunements throughout the day. Thank you for that, Sarah Renee. And thank you, Josie, for a list of podcasts. I appreciate that. Rosemary, thank you. I see those as well. Sarah, you bet. When you get your podcast up, I'll be happy to come on. You bet. Cool. Awesome. Awesome. You're so welcome. Oh, I froze earlier. So speak about changing character to dissolve repeating loops. Yeah, I was just sharing that in my class. When we stay in character, we hold a whole constellation of other people in character. And I'm being shown now, even your relationship to the way that others see your relationship, you have to allow yourself to alter all of it because you internalize things around being perceived a certain way. And it's like we're just doing a deep clearing of all of that so that we're free to create without being in so much resistance. In my direct experience and with all the people I've worked with around the world, resistance is the root cause of suffering. So when we can let go, see, this is the first time Kula's come in today. You wanna amplify that message? That when we let go of our resistance, we let go of suffering. Oh yeah, do you feel that, you guys? She's my power kitty, aren't you? All right, thank you. That's okay. You spilled the tea. We'll clean it up. Liz, yeah, the experience is mind blowing and embraced by the whole body. Yeah, it is. It's kind of blowing the mind out, right? Like changing, clearing. Josie, yeah, the video's doing weird stuff. Okay. Yeah, a lot of this is us kind of moving into this next level of being able to connect no matter what's going on a screen, like being able to go into the heart space. Yeah. Sarah Renee, what's my favorite visual to ground these beautiful energies? Well, I had an experience yesterday. I didn't even tell this story where I went out after the transmission and just sat on my front porch. It's, at almost 10,000 feet, the sun is just really strong up here. And it felt really good to just be in the sun's rays. And I just just went right into the white rainbow plasmas and just kind of became that. And that's my favorite image because that's, underlying all of living creation. And of course, then a few minutes later, I was on Facebook and exactly 1 year ago. So the Facebook memory was a visual of that representation. Yeah. So if you can visualize like opalescent white light with geometries and living plasmas. Sarah Grace, interesting. You went kind of blank and felt nothing. Yeah, interesting. You're doing some big resets now. We'll just be playfully curious, right? The human ego can be like, wow, what's going on? Kelly, the freezing of the video has been odd, but it doesn't hold the message back. Perfect. Yeah, this mandala found me in Crestone. It wanted to be part of these transmissions. So, Josie, talk more about plasma, please. Okay. So, in my bigger role of multidimensional field agent, I work way beyond the planet in the structures of living creation and helping to restore. And in that field work, what I've seen come through are these white rainbow, beautiful crystalline source plasma flows. And they have the ability to alchemize the most fallen of systems and help them recode themselves, because a lot is in weird inversions and distortions. So it is just something I've seen for years now in my field work. And again, after yesterday's transmission, I was right there in the ether with that, as that pouring through, coming through the sun, coming through the whole system. Yeah. Yes. Beautiful. Yeah. So interesting as I reflect on what to move ourselves into greater creative play. There was a lot of clearing and bringing home parts that felt like they weren't welcome, that they had to be off on their own. And then a whole bunch in the actual formation of our vertebrae and brainstem is what I was shown. So this should be interesting to see how this lands for all of us, how it integrates for all of us. And again, I'm being told if you want to come back, I keep hearing 5 months for some reason. So 5 months would be a good time for many to circle back, let all of these latest transmissions integrate, and then come back. Yeah, Angel Light, you keep being drawn, excuse me, something's clearing here. Keep being drawn to receive in your heart and welcome home all energies, mine and whatever wants to come back into oneness. Yeah. Oh, yet a part of you fears draining you. Now that's interesting. Okay, so that's a good one to work with. Fear begets fear, of course. Let me just feel into that for a second. Okay, so the very instant thing that I saw and felt as soon as I tapped into that for you is it's because there's still a part of you playing in rescuer. And yes, rescuer can get drained, can get taken down. So ask yourself, your greater self, to self-reveal, self-disclose any remnant attachment to playing the rescuer, and have your aha moment. Just invite it in. It could come in the next hour, the next day, the next week or month. But when your greater self sees fit to bring that to you, that should help clean that up. And then you are just a living embodiment, a loving presence, and you're not trying to do anything. You're not trying to help. You just paradoxically are help, but only for those that wish to make these shifts. A lot of the reason people will hear what I'm saying and feel what's coming through me, the reason they're going into fear is because they can feel it beginning to shift their reality. And that can be very scary, right? When you're leaning on all of your knowns. I always talk about psychic hygiene, but I also talk about psychic safety, and holding a certain worldview maintains a certain sense of safety. So yeah, I'm not interested in ripping the Band-Aid off for people. That can be very destabilizing. So I actually honor people's fear to bounce out if they need to, because many of you who are here today probably know you can really end up deconstructing an entire life that you've built. So it's not for the faint of heart at times. And it's not something I judge as needing to happen. It's only inviting it if it's aligned. Yes, absolutely, Josie. You can use and invoke the white rainbow plasmas at any time. At any time. Yeah. Yeah, as I talk about that, my whole 6 chakras tingling. Sarah, you're welcome. You've spent years doing what you can to dismantle, and this has been immediate. Yeah, and isn't that cool? The reason why is because when the kaleidoscope changes, it just changes. It doesn't have to be a linear step-by-step progression. It's like the base code instructions just change, and so reality follows suit. In some ways, it'll be hard over time to even remember who was I, or what was I before, or what did I believe? Sarah Renee, that's where You feel like a lot of the work is consciously working with the body, tending to the nervous system with loving presence. You're holding your Angelite crystal. I love it. Beautiful. At some point, we'll take the place of Venus. I love that, right? Earth is moving on up into greater love. Colin, if you have resistance to play, feels impossible. That's based in trauma. We do not play when we don't feel safe. So you're working on reworking your structure so that you are the loving sanctuary that you have not had on this planet. So just work in progress, lots of loving compassion, gentle, just softening. Yeah, your root and the back base of your spine are starting to soften some more. Yeah, and there your throat just opened up a little bit more. Just softening everything, right? That's very specific. Like just when you feel that way, see if you can just soften and relax a little bit the body. Just invite the body to soften because it's been holding. And that's really hard to do. It's hard to play when we're in that mode, totally understandable. So give it time. Give it time. Don't judge it for not being able to play. Agna, is sacred geometry connected with the integrations we're doing this week? On Monday, you were in a pyramid and saw in your mind's eye illuminating pyramids integrating inside and around me. Yeah. We can call it sacred. To me, everything is sacred. But again, I've just been working with this for years and trying to English it. I see geometries at the base of everything. And so as we work with those, if you're visual like me, you're going to start seeing things in your mind's eye and working with those representations, right? I only speak from personal experience, not from dogma I've been taught. So I'm hesitant to try to label or put anything in a box. Just go off of your experience and what you see and enjoy them. And as you see certain forms, you can communicate with them and get information from them directly from the greater field, from your greater self. Leah Lyons, you love that we're doing so much with the physical body because you've been having a lot of issues lately. Great. Yeah, so angel light, the energies were coming to your open heart on their own. Just remember feeling scared of the dark energies being false light versus collapsing that paradigm into all is light and ready to shift roles. That's it. You got it. I, as someone is go around collecting all the inverted energies, you'd call them dark, but just inverted. Okay. So they've cut off their own source flows and they've been parasitic. They're all wanting to find their own way home. And when they realize that there may be a pathway, at first they're incredulous because they've been in exile for so long. And then second, they get really excited. So, but I still maintain, because as I check in with your team, you'll definitely still want to look at the rescuer thing. I'm still working on mine. It's not completely gone, right? Josie, I feel that about play, you were annoyed and thought play was unnecessary. Yeah, still have a hard time. For sure. Yeah, it's been programmed out of us. Get serious, put away all the childish things. Now we're like, oh, wait, I got to take those back out and have the heart of the innocence, opinions unformed. Opinions are protection, right? Again, trauma response versus just an open heart, not in resistance or judgment of anything that is. It invites more innovation, more creative play. Yeah, a lot of us with difficulty with play. Okay. Yeah, I've definitely found the same thing. In fact, my team was on me about that a couple of days ago, like more play. But cut yourself some slack. We only spent decades in an educational system that told us to be quiet, sit down, focus, work, right? So what, a month for every year in that? Deconstructing that? Working with the song of our being feels like it could be helpful in play. Thank you, Sarah Renee. Yeah. Yeah, even you'll see just weaving around and singing like little kids. They don't hold themselves so tight and for sure. They're in free expression. Yes, childhood trauma makes play difficult. And by childhood trauma, I mean, I'm talking about like teachers giving you a stern look. That can be traumatic and has been for many of us. We're super sensitive, right? Which is our superpower. But, whew, all of the stuff, it's like adults who lost their ability to play highly judge children who are playing. And the children internalize that as though it's a bad thing, because they don't have the discernment to understand the wounding that adult was coming from. Clayton, one day you were waking up and saw geometry like this blossoming in your crown. Awesome. Woohoo. Yes, Sarah, let's all play, to that end. All right. This is going to be a challenge for me because, yes, I still have the grooves of like, study, innovate, work, ideation mode, which does feel like play. And I heard my team just say, yeah, and just how can you do it more playfully, right? Which would be relax the jaw, the shoulders, grip, not be attached to outcomes, right? So like, I don't know why I'm being shown this, but if you're an artist, can you do it just joyfully to share with the world without being attached to what people say about it, whatever your creation is? Beautiful. Wait, I'm missing some of these. Let me go back. Josie, what if we have a million templates running at once? Scarcity, victim, martyr, rescuer. What to do, what to focus on first. That's a very linear approach, right? Like I'm gonna. So like your name's just like just you can just let go all at once. Sit back in the center of your being and just watch them go kind of on the loops that they are. Angel Light, you got a little more insight. Okay. There's nothing to rescue, which allowed them to rise straight to source in their own light. Yeah. You get to go play. Yeah. You don't have to do that work if you don't want to. Absolutely not. And the fact that you have that awareness and discernment, just there's a little nuance here because there's joy in helping them come home too, is that you get to go play as if that's not play. That could be play too, is the invitation. When I go out in the field and help a lot of these, energies and beings find their way home, it is amazing. I won't lie. I kind of get on a high. It's because Source is so happy when all the children remember and come home into their own greater remembering. And we're all fractals of Source. And so there's just this like, big family reunion. Rosemary, for play, when you go on walks around the neighborhood, you let yourself get so excited about pretty flowers and rocks, and you let your body show the excitement and run over to the pretty things. I love that. Oh my goodness. I let myself skip when I was in Washington, D.C. recently. It felt so good. This is great. If you all can share how you are allowing yourselves to play more, or even an idea that you've just had that you want to go try out today, so that we're going to circle back to that. That's kind of the follow-up today would be what feels playful. I'm seeing it's a kind of a cold, rainy day here in the mountains, so I'm seeing some board games. I'm like, that could be playful instead of more work, right? Yeah. So share your ideas about play, I guess is what I'm inviting. Whoa, here they come. You're welcome, Angel Light. It's beautiful. Are you talking? You want to come play? Come here. Cool is back. Yeah, Marlene, I love it. What if the rescuer evolves into a more playful, joyful assistant of sorts who doesn't put others beneath them? Definitely. That's it. I love it. Because our soul planning, we set all this up. You're going to play this role. I'm going to play that role. I'm going to come in on a totally different bus than my family of origin and feel like, who are these people? Right? It's all a setup. And then the goal is, can we remember that we're all love? It's quite the Rubik's Cube we set up. Where are we? It just moved again. Ah. Josie, yeah, you've had to train and force yourself to be linear. Okay. You don't, yeah. It's like, yes, I get it to a certain extent to function in this world and the way it's set up, but like you can start to really honor and appreciate yourself. For years, I've brought through messages about the incoming kiddos to help their parents accommodate them because they're not going to be doing what we did. And so a lot of them are very multi-locational. They're not like focused here all the time. They're bilocating, trilocating, multi-locating. And that's not a bad thing. It's just that they won't be able to fit within our constructs. So our constructs are having to evolve and shift. Oh, Colin, I just see your love you all. Oh, I love that. Everyone just send Colin some love and then each other. There we go. I see all the swirling in the collective container here. That feels so good. Yeah, Sarah, it's almost like we need permission to play. There you go. Write yourself a permission slip, permission to play. And then put it somewhere where you see it and be like, oh, right. Yeah, we don't want to should ourselves. You should play. None of that here. Permission to play. Like, think about if you were in school like I was, and then you were able to go out on the playground for recess. It was like, oh, the kids running. Dr. Jamie, you saw a red-winged blackbird dancing on your walk this morning. That's awesome. Woohoo. Liz, your mother made everything fun. Learning, getting to meet new people. Grateful for that gift. And yet, you've all been mad at her for it too. What a crazy twist of seeing reality. Yeah. So interesting. Yeah, because she would have probably really stood out from the general collective, right? Talk about counterculture. Oh, I love all the love in there. Oh my, yeah, you saw the group hug. Woohoo. Oh my gosh, y'all, this is so fun. Oh, really, truly feel it. Let yourself receive here. Come back into your own loving presence sanctuary that you are, and move out in the world from this space. Now I'm being shown the propensity to want to protect is going to come in, and see when that comes in where you want to defend or wall off, if you can just soften those walls a little bit as you move out in the world today and allow yourself to play. Because when we defend and the walls come up, we imprison ourselves. Oh. There we go. Everything's softening. So beautiful. All right. Break out the soap bubbles. I love it. All right. I love you all so much. And I will see you again tomorrow, if not before in the astral. And then again, don't forget, Sunday we're gathering in person on a Zoom meeting live, so we can do this kind of face to face, which will be super, as my daughter's young friend used to say, super yumzels. All right. I love you all. Love you all so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And don't forget to leave a comment on the replay.